All right, team. We are back. Monday morning. Let's go. Let's get after it. Let's get after this market today. It should be a fun week setting up. But I tell you what it is. It's going to be a violent week. One way or another, people are going to get hurt this week. All right, if you've just coming into the charts, we gapped down about 900 points from Friday's close. All right, and that happened very, very quickly yesterday. Opening 1 minute bar was about 400 points after that gap down. And we kept selling aggressively until we came into daily, weekly, and monthly pivot points and a fib point that we have been looking at to potentially buy off since September last year. I was talking about a move back down to here. All right. So how we act at this pivot point will become key. How we act into this sort of RBS point, whether we need to fail a little bit deeper, all these questions are on the table this week, and a lot of it is going to be driven by the tariff news. You have to be careful this week. All right, headline news is going to move the market. We talk about it all the time. We're still waiting for reactions really from Europe and lots of the other parties here. So you got to be careful today. The ATR is absolutely huge. I saw yesterday at points when we had a 90-point spread in the market. Now, right now, the market's calmed down to about a 2-point spread. Normally, you want to see that at 2 ticks. This will open up. You will get 30, 40, 50-point spreads in this market very, very quickly. What do I mean by that? The difference between the bid and the ask. So if you are the type of trader who is marketing in and marketing out, you're going to get some terrible fills in market conditions like this. So please, please be careful. Be aware of that. Be aware of the ATR in front of you. This might look like normal charts when you come to the table today. All right, it's very hard trading futures to understand the size of the candles because those candles are based on the range to the left of it. The range to the left of it is well over 1,000 points. So right now, a 100-point candle looks like a 10-point candle. You've got to be careful. All right, you have to be careful. Make sure you understand the size in the ATR in front of you. Go through your checklist. Monday morning, shouldn't be turning up these charts feeling rough. Okay, if you haven't slept well, that would be me. Didn't sleep too good. If you haven't rested, if you haven't eaten enough, drunk enough, question whether you need to be trading today, whether you need to be sizing down. All right, as ever, I'm going to start on the charts. Starting on a weekly here. All right, and I just want you to have a look at this. This right here is drifting into an RBS level. This was resistance, 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 resistance. We broke through, tiny bit of support here. This is the first real back test of this level, isn't it? All right, of this block here that we had from December 2021. All right, we're testing back to where we were December 2021 on a weekly level. All right, so we've wiped out 2022, 2023, and 2024 gains very, very quickly in a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this will be the 7th week, really. Very, very quickly wiping out the froth out the market. These are levels where I'm going to start to be interested in buying as a long-term buyer. All right, right here in this blue box, I've been waiting for it. This purple line here is a 200-day on the weekly. I'm waiting for it. This orange box here would be a fib retracement into the golden zone. That would be absolutely amazing if we had anything to get down there. We'd need more panic. You can see here I've got a fib from the swing low from October 2022 all the way up to the all-time highs. And what have we done to the point? 50% pullback. All right, to the pretty much to the tick, which is pretty insane when you think about the size of the move. But 50% pullback, all right, from swing low to swing high, we've pulled back 50%. So we're finding some shorts starting to cover there. Not surprising. We're finding probably some bulls coming into the market or trying to come into the market because this is now fair value, right? This is good value. We get down here. This is discount, right? This is an area where we want to be. That should really be the other way, shouldn't it? Yes, this is discount. This is an area where we're really thinking about buying long-term down here. Anything down here is a long-term buy, in my opinion. So how do we trade this? Well, we're going to go down to the daily. Let's have a look at the daily, what we've done there. Big gap down. First thing to note, big gap down. So you need to be marking previous week close, previous and current week open. Mark that gap out. Where can we backtest? Well, we can go and backtest some of these old wicks. It's potential that we want to go and backtest some of these old wicks. It's potential that we're going to drift higher, and we're going to get more clues in that as we move down into the H1. Before we get there, I'm just going to get rid of this fib, and I want you to note something. What are the 5-day and the Bollinger Band now doing? They are aggressively pointing down. All right, and when the top Bollinger aggressively pointing up. You don't need to try, and as a trader, you don't need to try and pick this bottom. All right, it's going to be obvious when it starts to reclaim levels and go for that mean reversion trade back up. Do not try and pick the bottom. Right now, these are aggressive, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do something like this a little bit this week before maybe finding a bottom if we get a catalyst for that event, if we get a catalyst. Moving to the hourly then. All right, this green box, all right, this green box here that I've got on the hourly, that is the weekly pivot. All right, that is the weekly demand or the weekly RBS level that I was looking at. We have overnight, or from Friday, this old point of control that we've left. So you can see from Friday, big gap down. All right, Friday we closed 480. All right, we opened Sunday at 300 points down, and we flushed all the way down to 16,460. So basically 1,000 points. All right, 1,000 points, and we found some bids at that lows in value. Since then, I'm just going to remove the session volume profile so you can see. Since then, what have we done on the hourly? All right, we've tried to do a little bit of a W. This did actually sweep by like a tick, and it's drifting up into what? The grey box is the gap. We're drifting up into the gap, and we're coming to back test this level now. Globex. If we hold Globex, all right, if we hold around this kind of level here, there is potential for a bit of a squeeze up, all right, at the open. What would that give us? Give us a two-leg pullback. 1, 2. At this point, we'd fill the gap pretty much, come into supply, and two options happen here. We get a failure, and we go for rotation back down to retest demand. Remember, strong move. We expect two-leg, retest, and then maybe we can look for upside. Otherwise, breakdown and continuation. The other option is if they hold this and they get through here and they're like, hey, that was a big overreaction. Let's go and test some of these stops. We have a ton of stops here who never got washed out. All right, so if it keeps getting acceptance up here, basically, if it gets acceptance over 400s, if it gets acceptance over that gap, 550, if it gets acceptance over point of control, this might happen here. Now, it doesn't have to be today. That would be a monstrous move. But these are low-hanging fruits here, all right, if it really wants to get going. Narrative, however, is lower, all right? Really, the pro trend, we can see it's lower, can't we? We're moving. If we just zoom out, we're just moving downwards. Right, so the pro trend is downside, but squeezes are available today if too many shorts get caught in the hole. What are the key levels going to be? Globex, for sure. These are sort of levels here, 17,000 and just under. All right, this level here is absolutely key. All right, if it keeps holding that, it can build a second leg up. I would consider a long there if it does it for potential gap fill, or at least a trade into 17,380s, right? Previous day low potential. If we fail under Globex, all right, if we fail under Globex, where's my draw gone? If we fail under Globex and we get stuck here, we can rotate. This can be a rotation between these. For sure, it can build out liquidity. With big move down, it might need to build out liquidity. If we think about that two-leg, what are we really thinking about? Potential bear flag, H1, and then rotation. Still, there is possibility to go lower. The biggest problem right now is the move is massive, the ATR is massive, and we've come into my key level where I'm starting to be more interested as a long-term buyer. So it's very hard for me to think about a short there, but there's definitely range to get short down into there. If we move up to this 5-minute, you'll see what I'm talking about. Overnight range is fairly large here, all right? Your Globex high is, let's just call it 17,000. And your Globex low is, let's just call it 16,500. It's a bit lower. 500 points. All right, this here is 500 points. Now, prior to this year, what do you reckon your average Globex range was? I reckon it was about 50 points. All right, Globex was probably about 50 points prior to this year. So you've got to be careful with your sizing. I know I'm a stuck record, but you have to be careful. If they hold this level here, there is potential for a squeeze up to retest previous day low and gap fill. Acceptance over that may be higher. Failure there, rotation back down. Get stuck under Globex, we're going to test VWAP up. If it lets go of VWAP up, we're going right back to these lows. Remember, narrative is lower prices right now. Having a look at the VIX, what did the VIX do overnight? Gapped up to 60. All right, gapped up to 60. Currently in a pullback to 49s. Whether it can hold previous day close, previous day high, which would be 45, that will be key for sentiment, I would say. If VIX is going to hold that level and start to go back upside, then we get more pressure into the market. If VIX starts failing those levels, potentially there's a bit of relief in this market, potentially. Same story here for QQQ, same story for the spiders right now. Gap down, finding resistance. One thing I want to talk about very, very quickly, I'm going to go into the main chart, is the MAG, because I think this is going to be key today. I'm going to go to 15-minute, oh, I got that in the wrong one. Let's move to here. I'm going to 15-minute. I just want to look at the MAG so you understand what the MAG is currently trying to do, because this will be key. You can set price alerts today if you want. Apple, big gap down, already came in towards previous day low, found sellers, what we were looking for in the NQ. If it can get to previous day low, can we get sells there? Microsoft did the same move, came back in towards key levels, starting to sell off, didn't even get to PDL, PDC. Amazon, same thing, drove up towards it, starting to find sellers. Google, same thing, drove up towards it, starting to find sellers. You're getting the narrative here. Meta, starting to find sellers. Nvidia, starting to find sellers. All of these are failing after trying to fill the gap in pre-market. So how we open here for me is going to be key for sentiment on the day. I do not want to be too early on the trigger here today. Quite happy not pulling the trigger at all if necessary. Let's just move this to the right contract. All right, quite happy just sitting this out, letting it shake out if necessary, because I know the big momentum is downside. What is the major emotion in this market right now? All right, what do you think the major emotion driving the market is right now? I'll tell you what it isn't. It isn't greed. It's fear. All right, fear is driving this market right now. People are waking up to their portfolios, another 5% down, another 5% down, another 5% down. All right, that starts to eat away, and at some point you get that panic selling, which has started to come in the last few days. So I don't really want to be a trader buying against fear. An investor, sure, that's a whole different ball game. But as a trader, I want to try and play the momentum in front of me. And the momentum is moving fast, like we talked about. You're getting very, very fast moves in this market. 100 points like that over and over and over again. So if you're someone that likes risking 20, 30 points, this market isn't for you right now. All right, so please, please, please note that. You have to be careful. Best thing to do, in my opinion right now, let this market shake out at the open. Let's see if we drift into key levels, how we act at those key levels. Are we going to be able to hold this Globex orange box and view up, or are we going to fail? Are we going to be able to hold into what clearly is a key level here in and around 800? All right, if we think about this, resistance, oh, let me draw. There we go. Resistance, support, resistance, support. This level here, sort of key drift into there, how we act if we fail, probably a full rotation back down to lows. All right, very, very possible we come and sweep these lows. If we're going to break those, we're just going to keep expanding. We are just going to keep expanding. We can just think about where we can go to. It's going to get harder and harder and harder to think about where we can go to. But if we zoom out, we can drift into this next level of basically 16,000 flat. All right, so if it's going to get really heavy, we can drift into 16,000 flat. If we break these lows, these were 5% down. If we break these lows, we're probably going to halt down. We're probably going to go 7% and start major selling. So just be careful here today. All right, if you're going to play with your PA accounts, honestly, I don't think you need more than 1 micro in this market right now. That's all you're going to need to make some money in this market. 1 minute until open. Hopefully you guys are all set up and ready. Let's get through some shout outs here. Good morning, Clint, Miguel, Jay Canup1, Jeff, Jesse, Coop, Logan, Marek, Christy, TR, John, Kaladin, Louis, Thumper, Paul, Vince, Go for Hill, ASD, Ryan, Brad, Jeffrey, Array, Mr. Slim, Julian, Ramos, Leron, Minix, Trentry, Brandon, Govindi, R. Crawford, BU, Dopamine, Scrooge, Capt, Aaron, Jimbo, look at all of you here. Julian, Aga, Jack, Ian, Lindell, Ash. Good morning, everyone. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. 20 seconds till the open. I'm having a quick look at the book, which is very, very thin. And also, we have news today. That's the other thing. 10:30. I think there's some Fed talk coming. The book is thin. There is absolutely no one on this book right now. A couple players at 900, but I do not trust this market right now. Anything could happen. Anything could happen at open because it's going to be a chance for people to move their positions with some liquidity. So let's see. Drifting back down here at the open. Let's mark out that New York open before I forget. In fact, let's reload this so that's flow zones look cleaner. There we go. So drifting into the VWAP to start. VIX opening up at around 49s. We're watching the spiders are comfortably under VWAP. QQQ is comfortably under VWAP. ES now failing VWAP. Let's have a look at the mag. Tesla 7% down. Nvidia 6.5% down. Meta just under 4.5% down. Google 2.5% down. Amazon 4.5% down. Microsoft relative strength 2% down. I told you that is on my shopping list. If we start going bullish, that thing's got relative strength. Looks great. And Apple 6.5% down. All right. If we go into a sell today, these probably all go SSR, and we probably, if we're going to break these lows, then I think in all likelihood we have our halt down day if we start breaking lows today. Big if. Big if. So back down to overnight point of control, currently fading underneath. Globex, you can see New York right here, VWAP right here. These are big levels, right? Just letting this shake out. This is very, very thin. Watch your orders on the book. Be very, very careful. Coming back to test Globex here. SPY coming back to test, or ES coming back to test its VWAP. NQ, relative strength versus VWAP. The market very, very heavy here. Remember, the higher time frame is in a sell right now. Cannot make that clear enough. If it's going to pivot, the H1's going to have to hold pullbacks today and then trade up and through that gap. But remember, most of the market being dictated by fear right now. The question is, do traders come in today and say, hey, this is too cheap. Like, we've got to pick some of this up. Like Apple at 175, do I pick that up, for example? That's what traders would be asking. Nvidia 88, do they want to start bidding on some of these, or do they see more pressure coming to the market first and they just think we just wait this out? I would love to see a capitulation event personally before I start bidding up. All right, I'm talking as an investor here. I would love to see like a halt down event, shake everyone out the market before I start bidding up personally. 50.78 here on the VIX, back to VWAP here on the Qs, NQ back to VWAP. Big volume coming in there in that last sell, holding VWAP for now, coming back towards that 930 print. Big levels here. Big levels here, over, under. Again, very, very patient. Not enthused to trade this market right now. I want it to shake out, want to see what it wants to do. Right, if we're going to start reclaiming, maybe I'll think about joining a squeeze. If we're going to go for fails, maybe I'll join that fade back down to the current lows, which are very, very far away. They don't seem far away, but 400 points is a long way away. It can happen very, very quickly, though. But 400 points in a normal market is a huge range for a whole day. Watch your ATR. Your current ATR on an M1 is 130 points, right? Since the open, that's what you're looking at. 130 point candles. So far, protecting that lower time frame algo. And we drive in so far, being sold into Globex and into the lower time frame. Book's still very, very thin. There's a buyer here down at 800, but not much else on the tape. Feels very, very heavy here so far. What news is hitting the wire here? Trump saying countries all over the world are talking to us. Tough but fair parameters being set. He's currently talking then. I spoke to the Japanese Prime Minister this morning. Everything's got to change, especially with China. This is news coming from the White House right now from Trump. Remember, headlines will move this market. We're very thin and very jumpy. It will not take a lot to move this market right now. This is not your type of market. You can sit out. All right, we trade for freedom. That includes sitting on our hands. Seeing the World Championship Dodgers. No one cares that you're going to see the Dodgers here, Donald. We only care about the market right now. No one cares about your social life. All right, failing VWAP here. And we're coming into this key level. We said this sort of touch around here is sort of key into 780s, 800s. How we've been acting there might be key as an over-under. If we start letting go of there, there's potential for that move right back down into the lows. VIX still driving. 5150s now. It's insane. 5150s. Lots of gaps in this VIX chart. Just sat on hands, being patient. Like I said, fear is driving this market right now. Do not need to bid against fear. You do not need to be the first one in to try and pick a bottom. An easy way to fail. Spiders trading down towards pre-market low. 84.75 going to be key on the spiders. I do have a wick test there, 82.81 on the SPY at the open. I'm not sure if that's legit, but it does look legit. 82 or 82.91. S&P in a sell. Everything in a sell. Weakest name in the market remains Tesla. Tesla, Nvidia, the weakest names. Tesla approaching 8% down right now. Nvidia approaching 7% down. Meta 3.5%. Google 3%. Amazon approaching 4%. Microsoft starting to approach 4%. Apple over 6% down. Market in an absolute bloodbath here this morning. Morning, Peter. How was your weekend, my friend? Scary times here. Scary times to think about trading, isn't it? The range is absolutely huge. This is where we found buyers this morning. This is what I was talking about at the top of this green box. It is an area where we found buyers this morning. Nice, Peter. I'm glad you had a relaxing one. I did as well. Lots of rest this weekend. Although I did lift. I went to the gym twice and I got after it this weekend. So my chest and shoulders are a little bit sore today, and I imagine my legs will be later today. But I am enjoying trying to get the fittest and strongest I've ever been by the time I hit 40. That's the aim of the game right now. Just looking for headlines here, looking to see what's coming out. More fails here towards the top of that green box. So I'm interested if buyers step in here. I'm interested to not just to bid against it, but I just want to see if buyers step in here. If not, a very good chance we're going to start washing those lows. SPY coming down towards pre-market lows already. QQQ starting to join in. These fails are very, very big here, folks. Right? These candles are very, very big when it starts going. Highest print of the day, 140-point candle. Current candle traded up from 840, almost 100 points already, 90 points right now. Right, this is what I'm talking about. You've got to be careful. These are not small candles, 100-point candles over and over and over again. Market very, very weak here. Every pop sold into this morning, they're probably going to look for a retest of lower if they can. But we just come into this pivot that I was talking about. This green box, top of this green box, for me is key for narrative for the day. I just move this to a 2-minute for a bit because we're moving pretty quick here just so we can see a bit more structure. A little bounce off the top of that green box. VIX now 52, 52, 52, 72. I'm hearing SPY and MSTR option changer glitched. Really? Glitched with who? Not very good. M15 fill that was created overnight will be around 17K if it gets there. Yeah. Yes, sir. So back to VWAP here. They're trying to protect the overnight lows so far on the ETFs. Right, we're very, very far away from those on the futures, but on the ETFs, they're seeing if they can protect pre-market lows right now. 16.7. Look what you're looking for. Yeah, I see what you're looking at, Coop. Yeah, you got a little H1 wick there at 742, and that will take you back down to 700. Again, all pops being sold into. Remember, narrative is fear. Lots of fear in this market. You don't need to be the first one to buy the market. Markets normally take a bit of time to bottom out. Even if we V-shape off it for your investment, even if we V-shape off it, when's the best buying opportunity? When we come back and make sure that buyers are firm there. EU's trade chief, the trade situation with the US is in a tough spot. So starting to hear from Europe. A range of tariffs is hitting with 380 billion worth of EU exports to the US. Some 70% of our total exports are facing tariffs. This is what I'm being very careful of. We're yet to hear from the EU. If they start retaliating, it won't be a good look for the market, I don't think. Because you can say goodbye to your Porsche, your Mercedes, your VWs, your champagnes, your wines, just about anything that's good. Well, you can just say goodbye to. Let's just see. UK's Prime Minister Starmer on tariffs to caremakers. We are going to back you to the hilt. This is a moment of urgency to car makers, sorry, not caremakers. So that's what I just talked about. You talk about the European cars. So it takes up a huge sector of the market. There you go, Coop. Yeah, if you like your Chardonnays from Napa Valley, you're all right. But if you're a French wine drinker or Saint-Emilion, a nice little mugger from Bordeaux, if you like any of those, like I do, then price is about to go up. Scrooge. That's funny. Well, we can change that. No more. Let's change it. No more Heineken and Peroni and VWs. There you go. It's a bit more normal, isn't it? Kia Asian cheap beer. You're gonna have cheap Asian beer still. Well, they're gonna tariff you now. Tiger beer probably about to get more expensive. I do like a Tiger beer. All right, pre-market lows taken out here on the spiders, not taken out yet on the Qs as we continue to drift down here. Continuing to drift down here. Starmer, tariffs are a huge challenge for the future and the global economy. Consequences could be profound. We've offered the US 0 for 0 tariffs for cars and industrial goods. So that's coming out of EU trade. I mean, that would be good. If the US accepts 0 for 0, that could offer some relief. That's exactly what we got out of Vietnam when we had that little bounce last week. And that was on leather goods and shoes and things like that last week. Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it, Peter? It feels like we're coming back down to this Globex for sure. Like, I'm not joining anything here. It's just it's too nuts for me. My appetite, I mean, that VWAP trade was probably good, but my appetite is very small right now. VIX coming back up towards that key level into 55s here. 55.12s. Lots of news coming out of Europe here, folks. In response to steel and aluminium tariffs, after carefully reviewing options, we will send a final list to tariff list members today. That's from the EU. The UK government will not just sit back and hope. We will rewire this state completely. So we're just going to have to see. Mixed messaging, isn't it, as well? You know, when you think about it, like Europe saying war for zero, and then you hear comments from Starmer saying we're not just going to sit back and hope. You know, too many unknowns in the market, too much uncertainty. You've currently got your orb set, so your current low on session 670, and your current high on session 980. 300-point opening range there for you all. Normal market. 300-point opening range, normal market. Absolutely mental right now. Mental. I normally like opening ranges when they're about 40 or 50 points. But yeah, 300-point opening range there. SPY trying to get a little move upside here by the looks of it. I'm trying a little long here, just small size, scalping out, locking in here a little bit. Oh, didn't have my strategy on. There we go. Drifting back up. Watching that H1 off that imbalance. Just in here, found a bit of acceptance higher. Here we go. Should have held on to that a little bit for that counter trend. Saw the buyers coming in on the tape, aggressive buying into the tape back towards VWAP here. So there's my flip trade done for the day. So I've locked my one trade in. Let's see how we act here at VWAP. Are we going to get acceptance above, or do we see selling here? There is some selling in the tape, but it's not. There's no big size on the book today. Very hard, Camille. Yeah, it's very hard to manage risk today for sure. The easiest way is just to play momentum when it's there and sets up. Here's your VWAP. Here is your VWAP. So far seeing some sellers there. Not much on the book. I'm looking at like 20 lots, honestly. It's nothing passive. These are market in and markets out, clearly. Not much passive orders on the books. Squeeze incoming, joining this. Continuation higher. Lovely. So through VWAP, selling some there into the top of the flow zones on the M1. Move you back to a 1 here now. Now we've calmed down a bit. Remember I said top of the green box is going to be key. I'm just in a slight counter trend based on the H1 here. For this little squeeze to here. If we get acceptance above here, then we can look for more. I'm watching 930 print very, very carefully. That's a strong reaction from the spiders after sweeping the pre-market lows. Half tempted to be done for the day here already. Both, Crawford, yeah, both. It moved very, very quick there. But you can see on the book map, the little bubbles, they started to aggressively appear as green as we lifted higher. So watching here to see how we act on this pullback. Do we start to find a bid here into VWAP? Spider's not through the VWAP yet, all right? NQ is. The relative strength in terms of positioning. Is there acceptance through 930? There's the 930. Still in this, moving my stop up into the money, locking in. There's my $1,000 for the day done. Nice squeeze off the view up there. Into that 930 print. Are we going to get acceptance over 930? ES right into its view up now. Decision time for the market here for sentiment. So far finding a few sellers. A bit of kerfuffle here into 930. Bit of selling here into the ES in front of that VWAP. Remember we said the top of this green box was going to be key. This was key because if you look left, you can see it. You can see it was an over-under level. Big S&R level. Here we go. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You're in this with me. Make sure you're moving your stop up in the money. All right. Because if sellers come back in, you're going to get slapped. If you're playing this to the long side with me, just make sure you're moving your stop up. Right back into Globex right now. Into this key level. This is your deep pullback, and this right here is your lower time frame algo. If we get acceptance over this, a squeeze is possible. Otherwise, very possible that it's a bid up to come back down right now. Just so you're all aware, I'm trading 1 micro at a time today, not even 2. It's too much risk on the table right now to do anything more than that, in my opinion. 1 micro's already paid me $1,000 like that. Done. Do not need size. So 930 through the 930. ES still tapping on VWAP right here. There you go, driving back up. Here's your 800 test. Here's the top of the opening range here, folks. We're going through opening range now, driving through the opening range. We've traded from the lower side of the orb all the way up to the top side of the orb. ES still stuck at its VWAP. VIX turned there as well. You got VIX failing at 54s, trading all the way back down to 5120s. This is a very violent market. Got to be careful here, folks. Got to be careful. Pullbacks can be 100, 200 points very, very quickly. Yeah, Jake and up one, you cannot market into this order. I said it right at the beginning. Cannot be marketing in. If you're marketing in, you're going to get some horrible fills. Got to be limit in. Limit in this market, limit out. So acceptance here from the ES now as well. ES going to come and back test this 960s. Acceptance through that, I think we go back towards 5,030. So 960s, I'd say, is going to be key on the ES. Does it find sellers there? It's a little shelf where we broke down from just before the market opened. We're already reclaiming it on the NQ. Market seems like it's in a bit of a hurry here. We need to wait for some structure to build out, ideally, to change, because right now this is a bit of a V. We want to wait for some structure if we're going to think about longs for this, because we want to be very careful. If you're buying this, you can just get your face slapped off. So we want to wait for a little bit of structure if we're going to think about a continuation trade to come and take out these guys, which is what I'd like to do. It's showing me some strength here like it wants to do it. Here's the drifting towards that 960 level on the ES that we talked about. Very nice if you're in this long. It's still paying you very, very well here. Reclaimed VWAP and it's gone off to the races. So top of the opening range test will be a pullback to 980. It's just in a big squeeze right now. Big old squeeze right now. VIX coming back down towards a support level as well. So make sure you're moving your stop up. This has paid you massive, massive, massive move here if you got this long with me. Off the VWAP, already paying you a huge amount of money. Trade off VWAP alone. From 855s, you're up 200 points here. 1 micro, that's 400 points. $400. There you go. Yeah, you got it off VWAP as well, Peter. Yeah, that's $400. You do that on 10 accounts, it's $4,000. You do that every day, that's $1 million a year. You don't need size. You do not need size. Like we said, we need to wait for some structure now. We've got 7 minutes until the new hourly bar. Still scanning for news here. I'm very, very concerned about news that's going to hit. Hungary opposes the EU's counter tariffs against the US. So this is now also going to be a problem for the EU, where they don't agree with everything. The collection of duties will start April 15th, second part May 15th. US partners know that we're willing to engage. Continuation to squeeze here. Cannot be chasing this, guys. You cannot chase this. You're either in it or you've got to wait for some structure. This is violent here. Here's just 17,100. Two quick trades, 5 micros locked in, 1,098 on 3 accounts. Hey, Chris, high five. Beautiful work. Game plan really was simple, wasn't it? If we hold this green box, if we see some form of reaction here, we're going to look to participate in the squeeze, which is what we're starting to get. The next level really looking to take out is all this liquidity up here, right? If it drifts up here, through that we go for previous day low and gap fill. It's nice work here, team. Good work. Do not chase this. Do not get FOMO and chase this. I know it's moving aggressively, but if you chase this, you will find the hard way of 100, 200 point flush candle on you, and it will be painful. It will not be enjoyable. Look at the H1. What get the sentiment? Look at this beautiful H1. There is the imbalance. There's the wash of the wick. This is the top of the green box, and then we're off to the races. We talked about this pre-market. This move here. So it's exactly what I was talking about pre-market. If we build this move, it can be a flag to go for that gap fill. Very, very clear on that move. Like to see a pullback here. How long until the new H1 bar? 5 minutes. I'd like to see a pullback here. Start to build out some structure. Here's ES into those 60s we talked about. You can see it's an old shelf there. Need some structure. Need some form of pullback to get involved here for that move higher. Feels very, very squeezy right now. Very, very, very squeezy. I want to be careful. A flush candle can be very violent here. Beautiful. Can we keep going up to the highs? Would be nice. Lovely jubbly. Lubbly jubbly. I'm looking for that trade all the way up to 22s now. If you're in this, drive up to 22s, 17,200, or let's just call it 25 and 35. So we get through that current week high. All right, we'll be expanding the weekly high if we can get through 280s. Looking good here. Fantastic. Keep moving your stop up with this. Looking really, really good. These are the stops we're looking to run out right now. All right, all of these sellers, we're looking to use their liquidity for a swipe up. You must start taking partials if you can. If you can't and you're like me and you're just trading a micro, then you're just going to have to move your stop up with it, all right? That's all you can do. Nice little bull flag. They're looking for expansion here. They're looking to come and rip some faces off these sellers. VIX starting to sell now. Back into structure underneath 50. Everything's setting up for a squeeze here to come and take everyone out. Once we take everyone out, you need to be risk off or just move your stop into the money. Here we go. Watching the tape here, we're going to lift through it. Through 225s coming. You can see it on the tape. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Can we get through? A little bit of jostling. Remember, be very careful. Don't be chasing. You're either in this or you're not. Phenom, this move made my whole week, eh? That makes me happy, folks. Lovely, lovely work. Look, as soon as the flow zone flipped, that was it. As soon as we reclaimed VWAP, as soon as we held the top of that green box that we talked about, was a key over under. Here we go, 225's gone. Like I talked about, we're going to go and take out the current week high now. We're going to go and take out 277s. We expand that. We're going to go all the way upside into basically 400, 384s. All right, this is previous week low. This is where it wants to trade. Grey box is gap, all right? This is new week opening gap, previous week low, Friday's low, and this would be settlement gap fill, all right? So if it can get up there, that would be an efficient market. A trade into this zone is a full efficient market. A trade into this zone, very, very probable. Here's your breakout for the move into there. That's what it's looking to do. It's going to squeeze everyone out, use their stops to try and get in there. Keep moving your stop up with this, folks. And if you're just trading one micro with me, you just got to move your stop up. Do not give 100 points back on the flush, all right? You can always get back in. Take your profits, and we can reassess. It's a beautiful, beautiful move we caught together on stream here. Current week high about to get popped. That pre-market high, bang. There you go, popping it now. Now it's looking for the previous week low, looking for the move up here. Good old squeeze. They got too short in the hole down here, didn't they? And they are learning the hard way. Drifting higher. This is your next level. For those of you still in it, this is where you're trying to get into. For if we're looking for a hold, we're going to want to hold this sort of structure here for this. Otherwise, if you're going straight squeeze, keep moving up with it. You've got 3 seconds until a new H1 bar, just to make you aware. This H1 bar was very, very bullish. Look at that last H1 bar. Look at the size of the wick on it. Very bullish. We've talked about that big 50% pullback that we've seen in the market. Here you go. Current week low about to get taken there. We're going to drift up. Nice. Nice work, team. Nice work. Lovely. Here we go. Previous week low about to be tapped. This is a big level. You've got to be taking some profits into this if you can afford to at least move your stop up. If we're going to go for the full gap fill, it's up here. So this is a big move from the market here. Big, big move. Nvidia's now gone green. Amazon's gone green. Google's about to go red to green. These are big, big, big moves. John Dennis, 3,000 on the day. Love it. Thank you, Alex. You're welcome. Aaron, TPT, 150K pass with that last trade. Boom, 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 boom. High five, everyone. Love it. I love it. I love to see you all doing well. Do not chase this market highs. Please, please, please. The move we took was the hold of this. Once we got through this, it was around here. This is a huge move. Huge move. Do not be buying up here. Lovely work, folks. Coming back to where? We're coming back to look at these areas we just broke out from. All right, this area here is key. If it holds this, it's got potential move to come back upside here. If it fails to hold these key levels, then you might see a bigger flush in the market. This is why you have to be very, very careful. Imagine you bought that high right now. You're 100 points down instantly. All right, let this build out structure if you're thinking about trying to find a way to get back into the long side right now. Remember, all longs are counter trend squeezes. All we're playing, if we're playing long, is a counter trend squeeze. We're playing shorts pain. We've already played it. We need to see if it sets up structure now, if bulls really want to actually come in and bid or not. Big move up, pretty big move down here already. It's 150 points already off that high in the last 90 seconds. Back towards the structure. Back towards the flow zones. Does it find some bids in here? Lovely work, team. Really, really nice work. Nice to see you all do well. Drop me W's if you got some wins there. Jake from State Farm, Jim Cramer said it would be bearish today, so that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, he's always late, isn't he? He's never on time, that bloke. Never, ever on time. Always late. Okay, everyone with the W's. Oh, I love it. I love it. Peter, Marek, Dre, Leron, Tyson, Vince, Jake and Up One, Coop, Minix, Stephen, Ryan, Camille, Aga S, Thumper, Kaladin. Had a huge winner for a change. Thanks. Well done, Jack. Andrew G, Big W, Brian, Scrooge, Miguel, BU, Andrus. I love it, team. I absolutely love it. You guys crushing it. It's what I want to see. It's what I want to see. I want to see you all crush it. We didn't get short in the hole and we didn't chase the long at the top. We waited for the momentum. We joined it. We just let this shake out for a bit. All right. That is a massive. What we just did there is a massive trade. All right. Let this calm down a bit now. If we build structure out here, we can think about going again. which it is looking like it's trying to do right now. I'm probably, I'm tempted to keep trading, but I've had a decent day. I'm trying not to get greedy today. Keeping it very, very small and light today. I'm not looking to have big winners today. I'm looking to just manage my risk. My job, like I said to the team, our job is defense in these markets. Our job is defense. All right. If we have good, big winning days because our runners go for us, fantastic. But our job is to manage risk. Where people will come stuck in this market, they will not manage risk. They won't understand the size of the moves. They'll chase the market. They'll get slapped. They'll add into losers. They'll lose their accounts. That is not what I'm looking to do today, all right? This is what I'm looking today. Base hits, let some runners go. Base hits, let runners go, over and over and over again. If you're wondering about those big accounts, those are eval accounts that I took last night at the open on the short, just to get some in the bank for me. Looks good for a continuation. We held the RBS, all right? This level here, we just said it was key. We're holding it. Flow zones have caught up. Draw of liquidity is here. Through that, draw of liquidity is here. So if you're adding into this, if you're finding a way to get involved, this is what you're looking at. Something like this would be even better. It'd be easier to manage risk. And you're looking to take partials into these. All right, folks. If it keeps failing previous day low, all right, this would be very bearish. If it gets slammed in here or does this, this would be a very bearish move versus previous day low. Because what would that mean? It mean weekly. Remember, this is a low on a week. Be weekly and daily sellers are saying nope. Right, that'd be high time frame sellers saying no way, you're going back down. If we get acceptance inside of these weekly sellers get squeezed out. Hopefully that makes sense. Understand people's pain point. It's a big level here. I don't want to get long into it. Long down here is good on a dip. Long versus this level here that we just drew in about 5 times. I should probably have just done it as a little blue box. All right, long versus these levels here is probably good. And it looks good for a drift higher here. But if we fail up there, you need to be very, very careful. I'm watching that tape. There are some sellers here in towards just under 400 and just under 450. Julian, full transparency, trading sim today. Hit my max loss last night. Trading sleepy accidentally on ES instead of MESR. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, you got to be careful trading overnight markets. Overnight's always thin, and you add in the volatility that we have right now, and you get really, really crazy moves. So you got to be very, very cautious. I'm sorry to hear that, though. But good to trade sim for a day and just work your way back. Scrooge saying, Top Step screwed me today the same way. The order on the screen popped up as MES every day and it was on ES for no reason. Seems bizarre. I know that they have, I don't like Top Step X on some of the reasons. And one of them is that you can change the chart to NQ, but it doesn't change your order box. If you change a chart from NQ to MNQ on Top Step X, it doesn't always change your order box. So you've always got to check your order box, which is just bad coding in my opinion. You know, if you change a chart on NinjaTrader, your order box automatically changes. Yeah, we've all made mistakes. Like I always say, don't beat yourself up. You know, if it's a genuine mistake, you know, if it's a technical error, a genuine mistake, you've traded the wrong chart accidentally, don't beat yourself up. It's unfortunate, but don't beat yourself up. If you've where you need to be a little bit more careful is if you're just trading badly, or if you're making the same errors in your trades over and over again. If you have technical errors, you can't do a lot. Yeah, it doesn't always link, Coop. Yeah, so there's times where you change your chart and it leaves your DOM or your order box on another chart. And it would do it from any ticker. Like you could change your chart to gold and you'd still be trading silver or NQ or whatever. You got to be really careful with that. I don't like it. Like I thought Project X was going to be good. I don't actually like it. I hate the EMAs. They're wrong. I hate the VWAPs. They're wrong. I hate that bit of code. Lots of things. NinjaTrader over here. It's my bread and butter. That's where I'm going to stay. It's where I'm comfortable. Manage my risk. I know I've had the odd issue over the last few years, but they're normally rare, very rare, and often it's something that I've done. You know, it's like a bit of code which has gone funny, or I haven't done an update, or had the cloud system from Microsoft or whatever on my PC that caused issues as well. Yeah, that's also terrible, Julian. I agree. I love a break-even button. I have it on hotkey. Love a break-even button. All right, building out a flag here, potentially. You wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of a deeper wash first. I do. Yeah, I do. Noise 16. If you go to my... I'll find it for you. If you go to my YouTube, I do have one of those. I have one of those. It's a bit old now, but it will still be the same. Let me try and find it for you, my friend. Here you go. There's previous week low. I got caught trying to look for a video, didn't I? If you're in this for that flag break, look how good that looks. Hold of RBS. Bang! There's your TP1. Here's your TP2. Over that. Woo! Off to the over that. Off to the races, folks. Over this. Oh my God! Over that. Shorts. I cannot explain the amount of pain that they're going to start to feel. They're going to be extremely scared. Trying to find this video for you. Here we go. Where's my chat gone? There you go. That's the Ninja Trader one. I just posted there. Noise 16. Woof woof. Oh my gosh, I look away and it's gone. Look at this squeeze. Almighty squeeze here. Almighty squeeze. Wow. If you took that, folks, wow. If you if you took that 300 break, you're up 430 points. Oh my God. Oh my God. I shouldn't have been watching a video trying to help you get that video there. That was an awesome trade. Look at that. Held the flow zones. Shorts are stuck. All right. All low-hanging fruits now taken. That was the trade up to there. This is our point of control. No more longs now. You're out the game. You cannot enter long now. All right. You're back testing Friday's point of control right now. All right. Come back down here onto the H1. We filled the gap. We're back testing Friday's point of control. We talked about it pre-market. There's too many stops, too comfortable here. There is this trade here. I'd really like if they waited for that for next week. Why? This. All right. This is your counter trend trade upside for the squeeze. If you made money on that last move, okay, 300 or 400 points, whatever it is, just honestly be done. Be done, be done, be done. You just had one of the best trades I've ever seen. Right? These few trades are absolute monstrous. Yeah, you all got it. I love it. You all got it. Shorts in so much pain now. Oh man, I have to lock myself out of trading view of trading now. What a day. I love it, Coop. Went so fast I wasn't able to move my TP up. Yeah, it happens when it moves like that. Clint got it. Lovely. Array got it. Peter all out now. Keep moving my TP too close. Don't worry about it. Just lock those base hits. Jacob up one got it. Jeff, 391 PT for the W. Ryan just made $600 off one micro. Yeah, exactly. Boom, got that. Nice work, Proxide. W, daily goal surpassed and then some. Love it. Kaladin. Look at all these. All the team. Christy got it. Leron got it. Mr. Slim, Ash, Aga, Mike. Mr. Slim locking $843. I love it, team. Yeah, it's just going to keep squeezing. It's going to keep squeezing. And, you know, if it keeps going, we could actually go halt up, which would be hilarious. Let's see. We're ready to discuss with the US solutions, but it needs to be mutual. This is all from the EU. So news out of the EU. Rumors of a 90-day tariff pause have just hit as well. 90-day tariff pause rumors from Trump. Look at the VIX getting absolutely annihilated right now. All right, rumors of a tariff pause. It's going to keep going here. This is in a monster squeeze now. So everything we've priced in is about to get undone. He loves it, doesn't he? Does one thing and then just flips it the other way. So, I mean, there's not much more you can price off right here. Folks, I have major discrepancy in my charts now. I'm just going to make you aware of that. I don't think the charts can keep up here. This is showing me 18,000 on NinjaTrader. I'm seeing 18,025. They're both showing me the correct time. You have major discrepancy in the chart. That squeeze was so big. I want to show you the difference between the two charts right now. They're very, very different. They're both M1 candles. They're very, very different. Be very careful here. That means CME are struggling to provide data right now. On the tape, yeah, there's a huge delay, huge discrepancy. Be very careful here, folks, because I've got TradingView showing me we're at 18,200. I've got NinjaTrader showing me we're at 17,930. Be very, very, very careful. Just back off this right now. This is a recipe for disaster. You will get filled at a price that you're not aware is even there. I'm going to just disconnect and then reconnect here. Be very, very, very careful, all right, team? Trying to protect you here. Remember, our main job is to protect our capital. I do not want you trading this if it's giving false prints here. They like the candles don't even look the same. It's not even delayed. They are struggling to provide data here. We moved so quick there. We are struggling to provide data. And 45. All my data's off everywhere. Bookmap's off as well, and that pulls directly from CME. And I just refreshed my chart, and now I have this huge gap in it. So yeah, I'm backing off this market, folks. This is suicidal right now. Can't trade like this. Cannot trade like this. This is suicide. Let's see if I can close my Ninja and open it up again. So yeah, tariff pause rumors. 90-day tariff pause rumors. Yeah, just back off, team. If you're not getting a connection or anything, just back right off. Back right off. Close your positions. We made good money here this morning. Close your positions. Let this settle down. Look at the VIX now, 38.60. This is, wow. I don't think I've ever seen a market like this. Yeah, I've got no data now. I've got no data. I can't trade with you guys right now. You can see I've got no data. It's moving, and the time is moving and stuff, but they're struggling. CME are struggling to provide data right now. That moved too quick. Last Thursday's POC potential target. Let me have a look. I would say we're going to trade up here into 480. Yeah, 480. If we get through that, then yes, potentially you see that trade up to 18,900. But I think 18,480. Yeah, charts are stuck. My charts are stuck on Ninja. Can't trade this. It's all right, though, folks. It's okay. It happens sometimes. It happens sometimes, but we made good money. Let's just see what... And make sure you're all okay. Hopefully you're all okay here. Yeah, definitely largest IB I've ever seen. 1,000 points in a matter of minutes. Yeah, exactly. Persistence page. Yeah, my broker blackballed, paused everything. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. They're all panicking. They're all starting to panic now. You're going to have liquidity issues here. I thought I was in a good trade and then booming. I'm clapped. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, data. That's what I've got. I've got a huge data gap, 1,000 points exactly. Restarted, all good your side. That's good. I've got a gap here. I've got a big gap here. 10-minute gap from. You can see it on a 1-minute chart. That's a 10-minute gap. So can't really do anything until that gets fixed. Probably can't do it. Probably won't do anything for the rest of the day. Honestly, I think we got the best moves. All right, we got the best moves, and you guys got the best move. If you got that one that we were talking about, let it build out the liquidity. What did it test? Where's the RBS? Blue box, flag, shorts trapped. When we said target 1, target 2, target 3, anything over that is a bonus. Hopefully you all got it. Hopefully it let you sell your and take your profits into that move before it started getting too wonky. Yeah, when oil went negative. Yeah, I remember that. Think or swim's working fine. That's good. Might just take them a few minutes to like shake it out a little bit here. But yeah, my Ninja Trader, I have a big old gap in it. And I'm still not getting quoted the same price here. Completely different pricing. My Ninja Traders company quote me 17,850s. So a bit lower. And just the shape, the look of the candles is completely different. Totally different. So the way it's moving right now, untradeable for me. There's no way I'm risking my capital when we have stuff like this happening. No chance. Happy days, team. Glad you're all having a good session here. Here we go. Starting to get some data back on the book now. 37, still not quite right, but it's getting closer. They've filled in that gap now for me. Time for a fresh cup of coffee. Yeah, I can hear my wife making one right now. So I'm looking forward to having that. Yeah, I'm about 200 points off the pace here on Ninja. Let's try disconnecting it again. I'm interested. Let's see if I can just do Tradeovate and or Tradeify and see if that pulls different data. Let's upload. 802 still different. 750s, 720s. Still different. The candles look different. Everything looks different. Yeah, no trading for me, folks. Between a 50 and 200 point difference between my screens right now. So I'm just going to sit here. Just going to sit here. The gap's been filled now for me on Ninja Trader Logan. I've closed it down and reopened it a few times. The gap's now filled. So there's no like time difference or anything. But the problem is printing the current candle. The problem I'm having is it just looks totally different. So my current candle on Ninja is printing an uptick. And we're currently printing down to PDC. And on the book, we're printing down to PDC. So Ninja Trader's way off. Way, way, way off. So no more trading for me today. It's unfortunate because I think we could have had some few more nice setups. Yeah, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, folks. Just don't be tempted to click a button. Please, 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 please do not be tempted to click a button, all right? We had 2, possibly 3 for some of you magnificent long trades. We've done everything right here. You've got to be disciplined now. If you are seeing what I'm seeing, If you have a gap in your chart, if you have delayed data, any of this stuff, you need to back off. All right. Do not be giving your profits back because of tech issues. You will be very, very upset. Really, really nice work this morning, team. I know lots of you probably had record-breaking days there. Congratulations. Thank you. Did any of you have record-breaking days or some of your best days ever? I really hope you did. Are we going to find out that this leaked tariff pause is wrong? That would be the next thing. Let's have a look. A PLTR, US steel. Lots of those all got halted. That's probably why you're starting to see the gaps, I guess. I've still got, there's no chance I can trade this. I've done a restart, and now I've got this. No chance. No chance. Best day with a micro? I love it. Yeah, I love it, team. Look at all you doing well. I love it. Record day trading micros. That's fantastic. Hey. I'd say that ATR went well over that. I mean, what is the size of some of these candles? 250. I mean, that candle here, there's 100 points. There's 200 points. That's a 300-point M1 candle right here. That's another one there. That's probably another one there. What was the high of that? 320. There's another one there. 330-point 1-minute candle. Huge moves. Huge moves. Exactly, Cladden. Exactly right. I love what Cladden said. No point giving it back due to data issues. Quite right. Absolutely no reason to be giving money back today. If I was looking at my Ninja Trader and I didn't have this up, I'd think that we're still going to drift higher right now, which is hilarious. They're just so different. Remember, folks, we've got Kugler speaking at 10:30. Just as a reminder, yeah, I've got news coming at 10:30. Yeah, I can't do anything here. My charts have given up. Absolutely given up here. Give it one more attempt. They're getting worse and worse every time I do a reset on Ninja. They can't pull any data. Atani, if you're not connected and you're not paying for CME data, you will be delayed by 10 minutes, yes. Jeff, 5 Ws, all with 1 micro. Nice work. Nice work. Yeah, zero chance I can trade here, folks, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close. I'll give it I'll let it boot up, and then I'll probably just try and watch with you for a bit. But we filled that gap. We almost got to that 840s. Remember, on the hourly, we're talking about this move. Right, we held the top of the green box. We did this move here that we talked about. This was the squeeze And then we ripped through everything and shorts got stuck and we went all the way up and we popped this seller up here. And I was looking, the final target would have been up into this red box. All right, so it did everything it needed to do and more than I would have expected that to do in a week. It did in a matter of seconds. So you just got to calm down now. It's a big drive up off a rumor. Should have bought SPY calls this morning. I was very close to buying SPY calls this morning. But it just shows you, team, how important the higher time frame is. Where did we trade into? Why did we find a bid here today? What is this? Resistance became support, We went over at pre-market. How big was that pullback? 50%. 50% pullback off the highs and we found a bounce. All right, we had catalyst to help drive it turbo style. But where do we not want to get short? We don't want to get short into demand, do we? We don't get short into RBS. And we don't get long into SBR. It's very simple. You played from one side, you play to the other. You play from that side, you play back down until you flip one, and then you go the other way. Until you flip one, and then you go the other way. Understanding how the market works, understanding very simple S&R will keep you safe. And if you can look at it on the higher time frame and trade on the lower time frame, you're going to have success in these markets. Slippage is mental. Yeah, it will be. Like, again, stuff we went over at the beginning of the stream. The slippage in this market, I said, if it gets moving, and this goes both ways, upside and downside. When we get moving, it will skip. We are thin. There is nothing on the book. If you look at your DOM right now, look how thin it is. All right? There's nothing on the book, and it's been like that for a little while. It was like that at the open yesterday as well. There's nothing on it. So this is what happens. You get a news event or someone stuck. They have to mark it in or mark it out, and it will just start skipping. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, look at the volume that came in here. Think about this pullback, right? This flag. All right, look at this declining volume. That's what you want to see when we're building a bull flag, and then the volume steps up. So here we had 6,555 contracts, and here you had 10,500 contracts. So 6,000, 10,000 contracts. Those would have been market out, all right? They would have been stop, sell stops, marketing out, market, getting squeezed. So basically buying back in, shorts getting squeezed out, market. You would have had 40, 50, 100 point slippage easily there, because these are 350 point candles. Look at this. Low of that, 245, high of that, 545. 300 points. That would have been slipped straight away. Got back break even, now walking away. Yeah, well, if you got break even, definitely walk away. Don't let that go back red again. Be done for the day. No, Linda. My TradingView limit orders were really delayed. I have a Tradeify account through Tradeivate. Do I need to pay for additional data? No, you don't. It would just be because of the day. Honestly, if you think about Tradeify, their ability to put orders through to the CME, that would have been tough for banks there. Banks would have got stuck there. We won't be the only ones having some issues here. Everyone will be having issues here. Yeah, I've got no chance in trading this. No data. Yeah, SS, major issues. It won't be just from NinjaTrader. Correct. Correct. It's struggling to process the data. It moved too quick. The market moved too quick there. You're not the only one. You are not the only one here. Everyone's going to be having the same issues. Kind of glad, like in some ways, I wish I wasn't posting that YouTube video there. Mr. Absolute Blinder. That's probably trade of the year. I don't think you'll get a better trade than that this year. It's just so clean. But yeah, I can't really do much here, folks. It looks like we're just drifting back down towards previous day lows. VIX swiping back up. I mean, look at the VIX. VIX's low down there was 38. VIX's high on the day is up to 53. It's just swiped all the way back up to high of the day before finding some selling. I mean, this is nuts. Absolutely nuts. I love it, Andrew. Good to see you having a good day. Lyndall, if you have time, can you please explain that lower green box that was formed that had the huge move? Yeah, it's just RBS. What do you mean? Which one do you mean, Lyndall? This one here? This green box. All right, if we go, this box is based on the daily. We just went over it. Let's go to the daily. All right, think about this box. This blue box as a green box. It's just on different charts because this is on NQ1. All right, so take everything off. This here was resistance. All right, this was an old all-time high coming into the back end of 2021. All right, we drifted off that. I want to show you something as well. All right, so you understand this. Swing low, swing high, drift off it, 61, find a bid. Swing low, swing high, back to discount, found a bid. So what do we always look for? We want to buy in discount, 50% fair value. Okay, it's good. Better buying zone than it is short zone because we're already failing down. Resistance became support. All right, high time frame buyers are thinking about buying here. I'm thinking about buying here long term. I've been calling it anywhere in here. This is my first buy order, and this is a DCA order for me. Anywhere down here, I'm just add. In long-term investments, I'm not talking about trade. I'm talking about, you know, a 20-year investment, all right? Looking to gain 11% a year off a move like this. So higher time frame buyers came in down there. All right, so you had fib buyers buying here, you had SNR buyers buying down here. Once we got down there on the daily, think about how we got down there. When you get aggressive moves, aggressive move, aggressive move, aggressive move, the snap back will be aggressive because what the temptation is to do is for shorts to pile in at lows. Remember, we don't like shorting lows. Where do we want to get short? Based on structure. This right here, where we just retraced into, was a structural short. Think about this. Old low. All right, this was old support, became resistance. Dum, 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 dum. We just repriced it. There's your resistance. So that was level one. All right, so that was a higher time frame level. When we go to the lower time frame chart, I put it on as a green box. All right, this was on before yesterday. I said to my team last night, if we hold this green box, we can bid up off it. If we fail this, we probably go down to the 61% fib on the daily and weekly chart, or the 200 SMA on the weekly. The top of the green box became key. Why? Because let's just look at the pattern. Let's just draw this out. All right, so when we opened here, what was key? Well, this was resistance, became support, became support, became resistance, became resistance, became support, became support. This became a key level, didn't it? This area here becomes a key level. There's some stops here. So we trade up and we trade down through the stops. Breakout shorts come in where? Here. All right, breakout shorts pile in here. We take them out. They squeeze trigger 1. We reclaim VWAP, squeeze trigger 2. We reclaim New York, squeeze trigger 3. We reclaim Globex, squeeze trigger 4. We reclaim all these short stops, squeeze trigger 5. We push, pull back into it, RBS, right? Resistance becomes support. What do? We're aiming for low hanging fruit. Previous day and week low, previous day and week close, previous point of control, and resistance level. Bang. All right? It's the same thing that we do every single day. It's just that this is violent. This time you're looking at 1,000 points. But in terms of what we're looking at, they're daily and weekly levels and hourly levels that we're looking at. If you look at the hourly, to give it even more context, look at the hourly. Where are the stops here? Buyer stops here, short sell trigger there. All right, so we trade down. Well, I said this can be a flag. Remember, this can be this. If we hold this area, we're thinking bullish. Very, very simple. Take this away. Make sure I'm on the right chart for you. Think about this structure. Think about the structure in front of you here on the hourly. When we were opening up today, we were opening up here. All right, so what have we done? That becomes an RBS level. Yeah, so we're looking for a flag here. Now, it overextends it to the downside because that's the type of market we're in. We're in a market which does huge moves. But this move down here, does it ever take out this low? No. So technically on an H1, we're bullish over this, right? Comes back down, traps people, reclaims off this area where we know buyers are participating in, drives upside, and it has clear targets. Think about none of these have got taken out. These guys are way too comfortable from Friday. These guys here, a short seller, short seller, short seller, short seller, short seller. Swing shorts from Friday, way too comfortable. Right? So if they didn't take their profit this morning, they just learnt the hard way. Right? They just got face ripped off. Normally you would take your profit into 50%. At least a good portion of that profit would get taken. Can this now be a move to go back lower? Absolutely. All right, now we've swept everyone out. 1, 2. This is possible, as is building a range out for the rest of the week. Everything is possible right now, folks. This is not a normal market. The way we operate in terms of structure is normal. That never changes. But the exaggeration of the moves is massive because of liquidity. You have to understand that. Imagine you were a buyer. Think about this. Imagine you were a buyer here on Friday, all right, and you never stopped out, all right, and you're in so much pain. This just gave you the opportunity to get out break even. That's why this supply and resistance level works. It's a first test. It's the first time we've traded back into these levels. Now we're just going to have to let it shake out. I have to let it shake out. It was a news event as well that was driven by a headline. We're pausing tariffs for 90 days. Oh. Think I'm starting to get data again here, which is nice. Data back on the book. No worries, Brandon. Catch you later, Brad. Peter saying, calling it a day. See you all tomorrow. Catch you tomorrow, my friend. I'm so glad I didn't let automation work today. FML. I'm not going to say it out loud. I know the trailing stops wouldn't have worked. Yeah, you would have got slapped. Trump response on X handle. Advisor Hassett did not say this. Yeah. It's just a rumor. Like we said, it's just a rumor, but you can see how sensitive the market is. A rumor and we move. They might have dropped that rumor so they could get more short positions in. Like, who flipping knows? Like, who knows what their games are? I don't have a clue what their games are. All I know is we take the technical setups. We've taken the low-hanging fruit. We've taken the trade. The data went down. Real manipulation. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it happens every day. Every day. Book, there's absolutely no one on this book right now. Very, very thin. Yeah, mine's pretty much back to normal. Not 100%, but pretty much back to normal. SPY finding a bid there off its VWAP. ES finding a bid off its VWAP. Trading back towards previous day low. Say 17,500, probably key level here. And into PDC. They start to reclaim that, they can have another attempt higher. But like I said, there's all likelihood I'm probably done here unless I feel really confident that it's a good setup and liquidity comes back on the tape. We're very, very thin. I mean, even that move off VWAP. Look at the ES. It just moved from 4,993 to 5,053. I mean, this is insane volatility. Insane volatility. Our highest ATR of the day is 330 points. Our current ATR is 135 points, even in the slowdown of the market. 130 points volatility right now. Like, wild. Absolutely wild. Sorry, guys, missing some of these, and my phone is popping off. I've got family members messaging me, friends messaging me. Hey, Flowzone Trader, when you reference PDL and PDH, is that referring to the Sunday trading session? No. Only Friday. Yeah, so I don't count Sunday as a session. Sunday's Globex for me. Only referring to Friday. Miguel, I'm done and getting off. Nice work, my friend. Have a great day. Enjoy your time with the friends and family. How many likes we got in here? I've not even looked. How many likes we got in here? You all had record days. Hopefully we got a few likes in here. 63. Team. That is abysmal. That is abysmal. No more streams rest of the week. Discord only streams now. That's it. Throw my toys out the pram. None of you are getting any help for free anymore. That's it. Finished. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Do me a favor, team. Just smash that like button for me. I'm only playing. Do me a favor. Smash that like button. Helps me grow the stream. It's really appreciated. Handing out absolute gifts to you today. I haven't looked at any of the other streamers. I don't know how they're doing. I hope they're all doing okay and safe. But it would not surprise me if a lot of people got short in the hole. It would not surprise me if a lot of people chased the long. Thanks so much, Alex. Okay, so I know how to place PDL and PDH on my chart now. There you go. That's great, dude. Building up liquidity here. All right, we're back to flow zones. The market's sort of having a calming moment here by the sort of feel of it. Say calming, I mean, we're still trading at 120 points ATR. That is an average right now. It's an average. Even all these bars are 120 points. Look at this bar. 290 all the way up to 420. I mean, I don't know how we can really consider taking a trade here. It's absolutely wild. And this is the calm before the storm. Coop, I'm hopping off as well. What a killer day. Thanks, Alex A. Nice work, Coop. Great work. Great work, everyone. If you made money today, it means you sized down, you were patient, you took the trade, the layup when it came, and you locked in your profits. That's all you got to do. That's all we can do as traders. Manage our risk. Take the layups when they're there. Lock in profits. That's all we can do. Market very, very thin. There's no one on the book. These participants are scared right now. Most people got liquidated out probably on the move down, and then all the shorts you piled in got liquidated out on that move up. You got a box of low-hanging fruit. Yeah, you got a tree of low-hanging fruit today, I think, Jack, didn't you? You had a really good day. Guess what Jack didn't do today? He didn't pick a top or bottom. I know that much for sure. And he made some money. Paul, yeah, we did very well. We were in longs this morning. We did very, very well. The chat did better than me. The chat did better than me. As per usual, I get caught talking. But we were long here, 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 and here. And the chat got this one. I missed this one because I was posting a video into YouTube, into the chat. But hey, it was a very nice setup. So back towards PDC here. Watch the liquidity being built. All right, we have a raid of this setting up here if it really wants to go. There you go. Absolutely slapping faces right now. Abraham Dunn traveled $56 all the way up to 1,750. Fantastic work. Array, I'm off to the gym. Thank you, Alex. Have a great day, guys. Nice work, Array. Nice day, Paul. Good work, everyone. Everyone getting off a little early today because they've made their money, which is fantastic. That's what I like to see and hear. So the liquidity's up here. If they do a 2-leg and get stuck, the rotation is available for initial balance day. I know it's wild, but we are technically still in an initial balance. It is one of the biggest initial balances you will ever see, but it is still technically in an initial balance. Okay, the initial balance right now is 1,688 points. Normally we like an initial balance of 100 to 200 points. 1,688 points initial balance. Am I really going to stop live streams? No, I'm not really going to stop live streams. It's just me winding you all up, telling you, please, can you drop me some likes? Absolutely not going anywhere. I'm not stopping live streams anytime soon. All right, bear with me, team. Just going to get a tissue. I'll be right back. Oh, no. All right, member team, I want you to remember, do not get greedy. Do not get lured into, C or D trades or clicking buttons. Low-hanging fruits have gone. The layup trades have gone. You got SPY stuck right now at PDC. We're right at PDC here, that yellow line. We're on the gap. And we're moving fast and thin. Do not be giving your daily gains back today. You've had a fantastic day. Moved violently and quickly. Headline news can move this market. Our job in this market is defense. It is not offense. Our job is defense in this market. It just so happens that we've made a ton of money today by playing what sets up in front of us. But our job is not to overly attack this market. Yeah, I'm already ready to join your membership. Is your membership one-on-one? Is the mentorship like a one-on-one training? It's 20 hours, 40 modules. Looking like it's going to squeeze here, folks. 20 hours, 40 modules. Like I said, if it reclaims 500, we're off to the races. There you go. So it's aiming for this liquidity here at 700. It wants to pop those and retest this POC. Yeah, so Joseph, it's 20 hours long, the course, on demand. So you can do it as many times as you want. Over 40 different modules. There's probably about 100 lessons there. I give you absolutely everything. I start you from complete newbie, teach you absolutely everything you need to know about the markets. I give you my setups. I teach you what I'm looking for. I give you the flow zone indicator, this right here, and the updates which are coming soon. And you get a free lifetime membership into my Discord as well. So lots of people in chat have already done it, so they can tell you all about it. And then I'm available in Discord all the time to help my members. Aaron, thank you. That's very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Thank you, my friend. Paid for my lunch today. Jack Hudkins, first green NAS in a long time. First green day on NAS. Yeah. Well, if we stay green, yeah. If we stay green. Big if right now. Big if right now. This can still find failure. So it's swept that liquidity now. Look at this drive. Back to POC. These are big, big levels here. Starting to reprice. It's hard for me to do anything right now. I would have loved to have taken that trade from 530 up here, but I just don't fully trust Ninja. I've still got gaps in the charts here. You can think about swing to swing. Starting to build that liquidity that we talked about. There's your buy signal. If we hold here, has the chance to go up. Remember, it's done the 50% move. Swing to swing, it's just done 50, 61. You might find some more sellers here. We know they came in strong here. What will change that? Piece of news. Or if they come out saying, yeah, we're lying, it actually is, we actually are going to pause. Trump did say that. Then we move higher. Lots of if, buts, and maybes right now. White House saying more than 50 countries have reached out to start negotiations. So CNBC leaked that without doing a fact check. The irony of that they push for fact checks, but then leak something without fact checking it. The irony of that. Have a good day, Jack. Good luck with that. So stuck here at that algorithm. See it right here. High time frame algorithm. Point of control still coming in here. So still sellers there. Just trying to find like a little RBS here. But again, I don't have much data here to play with at the moment, unfortunately. Still starting to like slowly come back. VIX now stuck at 45's midpoint of the IB as well. VIX stuck at 45 midpoint of the IB. I'm only ever seeing like one order on the book. That's how thin it is. Leron, you have a great day too. Brad D saying, Joseph, I'd highly recommend the course. I started following Alex and doing the course about 5 weeks ago. Doing the course and watching the live stream really puts it all together. Yeah, that's general consensus there as always. If you do the course, it makes these live streams much, much better for you because you understand what I'm talking about and you can start executing by yourself. More news starting to hit here. Lots of news coming out this morning, folks. Lots and lots of news coming out this morning. This is from Trump. The United States has a chance to do something that should have been done decades ago. Don't be weak. Don't be stupid. Don't panic. A new party based on weak and stupid people. Be strong, courageous, and patient, and greatness will be the result. It's a pretty strong statement. Wow. So if you got SPY calls this morning, which is what I was thinking about buying, they went up 2,900% in 15 minutes. It's insane. It's insane. Oh, man. Building that flag, it's building that look to try and drive higher, but your location has kind of gone now. Everything's flattened out now as well, as you can see. Everything's flattened out. Coming back down to some form of regularity in terms of the size right now, which is always nice. Watching this flag, though, just in case we want to start getting going. Have I got any data here? Does it feel clean? I'm having to cross-reference everything. It's still not completely in tune here. There still seems to be a second or two out, so I still don't feel confident in executing anything here. Yep, thank you, New Owly Bar right here. Good eyes there, Mike. You can see we're still in a buy on the flow zones, lower time frame. We're still in a buy if it's able to start pivoting and drift up towards here. Failure to do that will be a fib and a rotation back down. Sentiment probably a little bit confused right now. They probably don't trust things right now because you've had a statement come out. They're saying it's fake news, and probably the market sentiment is it actually fake news? Because if you are short now or prior into this and you're still holding into that short position, you're going to start to be concerned that maybe that news is actually real and that the White House is lying, which they do like to do fairly regularly. Yeah, really easy, Aaron. Just the same as stocks. Obviously, you've got to watch your leverage. But I like the idea of buying calls today, even 0 DTEs. I was just like, we're at a good level, even for me to be like, you know, as a bit more of a punt, not hold on to it. I felt like there was a good chance of a squeeze if any good headline came out. That was the type of thing I would have been playing for. Looks like more in this now. It's trying to drift higher here, like we talked about. It is trying to get going. Still stuck at that high time frame algo, but we're holding PDC here, and that's key. And VIX is at PDC, and if it starts to fail underneath these 45s, I think there's a chance of that drift back upside. I really do think there's a strong chance of a drift back upside if this really can get going here. 750 probably key. You got 6-month TQQQ calls this morning. Did you cash out already, or are you holding them for 6 months out of interest? It's tapping on 750. Definitely some selling into 750 there. $750s. They're trying for those 750s. If they get through these, they're going to look for that squeeze. There it comes. And we get going for the upside here. Small size in this, looking for a squeeze up. Stop already in the money, like I said, being very, very careful here. So I know fib traders can come in and sell this at any moment. Trying to hold for a bit, may cash out some soon. They're up 30% already. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's hard when you're playing 6 months and you're like, they're up that big. You could always take your cost out of it, what you paid for them, you know. Trim your position, and then you're playing with house money at that point. Yeah, exactly. I think it's a good idea. Always nice when you're playing with house money, then it doesn't really matter, does it? Right at that point of control, I'm just very cautious now because we are coming into these key areas where we found sellers earlier. Look at the mag. What a turnaround. Tesla 1.71% down. Nvidia 4% up. Meta 3.16% up. Google 2.25% up. Amazon 3.25% up. Microsoft a third of a percent up. Apple still weak, 2% down. But big bounce back from Nvidia there. Big bounce back. Hey. BU, it's great to have you back. I was really happy to see you in chat this morning. It's just a loss. It's just part of a learning curve. It's okay. And look at that. Nice green day. It just shows. You got this. We all go through those tough days. It happens. You've got this. Grind it out. Lovely to see you back in chat. I'm glad you're back on the horse. You know, get back on the horse. Everything would be all right. You're doing great. Be kind to yourself. Good for you for taking a bit of a pause, though. But back to winning ways. Doesn't it feel good to come back and get back to winning ways? Just a reminder that you can do this. So finding some sellers there like we talked about into the 800s. Back to PDC here on the ES and the spiders. Ay. Watching this hourly bar, we're trading back into the old hourly now. If this wants to come and backtest all the way down to 17,300, it can do so. All right, structurally, it can happily do that. Honestly, I think the low-hanging fruit trade has been and gone. I almost just want to give this until the next session now. Just let everyone shake out here and battle over this. What did I say? Battle over the 1,700 point initial balance. Let everyone else battle in that range, decide what we're going to do, and we can pick it up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I think that's better. But I'm going to stay with you until lunch, like I always do. But I think we'll get some nicer trades back end of the week again now. I think we had some monsters today. If you say so, Burger. I mean, everyone's got their own beliefs. So we need to respect all belief systems here. All right, S&P drifting back down towards PDC and PDL. Honestly, I can't believe how thin the market is. I don't remember watching it in COVID and seeing it like this. I know we went halt down in COVID, but this just feels weird, man. Like, to see nothing on the tape is like, it just shows how many people have been liquidated because there's just no one left. Crazy. The lower we can go, for me as a long-term investor, the better. If we can get into that 61 fib, I would love it. If we can have more panic in the market, I know it sounds nasty, but I would love it. As a long-term investor, I think the opportunity for growth there is better. I want to buy a diamond as cheap as I can. Pretty good here from the ES today. Big drive up, reclaimed view up, came back down into view up, found buyers at view up. Pretty strong there from the ES. We could do a little anchor from the high here. Let's do it from the sell candle. Yeah, probably. Luckily, she's out at the moment walking the dog and won't hear that. I haven't done a diamond trip for a while. I normally go to Dubai when I have to do jewelry shopping. So I haven't been for a while. So it's good. It's so far away from Los Angeles. I have a good excuse not to go. But I am due a trip to see so many friends there soon. So we will probably end up going to Kara's when we go. That's what normally happens. And the bank account gets emptied. All right, VIX finding a bit of a bid here underneath PDC, reclaiming PDC and PDH. Again, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And we're just inside initial balance. Remember, I know this is going to sound weird, guys, but like we're not technically in a trend day. All right, big push up, create the IB high. Where's the trade? Back to VWAP, retest. If we let go of VWAP, where do we go? Back to IB low. And we can rotate all the way back up, or we can let go and go deeper. We're in an IB day. This is a choppy day. All right, we're outside of previous day. Well, as long as we stay under PDC, we're outside, or PDH, PDL. We're outside from here. We're an outside day lower from here. We're an inside day from here. This is why this is chop. Right, remember, this is the previous day bar. Inside, outside, chop. While they make that decision. Inside is what? Squeeze relief. Outside is what? Potential lower prices. So it's sat on our hands right now. If you're joining the stream late, you missed some bangers. We were long this morning. Here's your buy signal. Here's your flag. Long, VWAP reclaim, long, long, long. Profits, 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 done. That was your layup. Layup's been and gone. We dunked it. $50 minutes left until lunch. Nice one, Paul. Sorry, team. I know we've slowed down a bit here, but just I'm not interested in getting chopped up after having a nice early morning here. I don't want to play 50% of the range. Your initial balance. We're right at 50%. I don't want to play that. That's not a zone I'm interested in playing. So I'm waiting for extremes, waiting for something to start moving this market before I think about executing anything else. Anything else, we just wait. The question is, do they go backside now of this move? Do they do this rotation down to here? Or do they squeeze again? Those are the plays. Again, I'm not executing anything here around here. 50%. Look at the flow zones. They're flat. Everything's tight here. This is a tight level of interest for multiple time frame traders. I'm not interested in being the one who has to become the liquidity to find out. I'd much rather let everyone else pay for the information, let them fight over the levels, and I'll join after, if at all. If at all. We don't have to join. We've had a good day, we don't have to join at all. There's your continuation, as the attempt to go lower, like we just talked about. Back to previous week low here. Kugler now talking. Tariffs and shortages are important to consider when forecasting inflation. Here we go. Here comes the negative chat. What a flush. This is over 350 points now on that bear flag breakdown after Kugler started talking. 350 point M1 candle. No big deal, right? No big deal. Yes, back to view up. You can see on say I'm not going to battle out here with everyone. Let everyone else battle this out. Not interested. Back to view up on the ES. If we start to break down, then obviously the initial balance trade is potentially there. Opening range would take you all the way back to sub 700. Sorry, sub 17,000. God, so many zeros now. Very weak here on the ES, that news shaking the market, right? Because they're talking about the uptick in inflation right now. Here we go, breaking. Trump threatens additional 50% tariffs on China. Here you go. So tariff wars, there you go. Yeah, DM62 talking about it as well. Yesterday, China issued retaliatory tariffs of 34% on top of their already record-setting tariffs. Non-monetary tariffs, illegal subsidization companies, and massive long-term currency manipulation. Despite my warning that any country that retaliates against the US by issuing additional tariffs above and beyond their already existing long-term tariff abuse of our nation will be immediately met with new and substantial tariffs that are higher, over and above those initially set. Therefore, if China does not withdraw its 34% increase above their already long-term trading abuses by tomorrow, April the 8th, 2025, the United States will impose an additional tariff of 50% on China, effective of April the 9th. Additionally, all talks with China concerning their requested meetings with the US will be terminated. Negotiations with other countries which have also requested meetings will begin to take place immediately. Thank you for your attention on this matter. So there you go. There you have it. Right out the horse's mouth. A 50% tariff on China threatened if they do not withdraw theirs. Right, so back and forth and back and forth. ES2 view up. We're in these ranges that we talked about. ES2 view up. Back to previous week low. Do they come back in and sell this now, or do we go back into a squeeze? Who bloody knows? This is the moves here are massive. All right, they're massive, massive moves. Massive moves. Last pop up into previous week low, sold into. You can see this was an old level, the red box. It's hard to see because of the other box on top of it. Let's dampen this down a bit, make it a bit easier. Bring this up. It's an old key level. Again, my candles do not look the same here. We've got to be careful. So still some issues here for sure. It's the bottoming out. Yeah, completely different candles. Same prices, different candle structure. Financial Juice. Govindi, I get it from Financial Juice. So do they get a continuation sell here at VWAP? This is the question now that they're posing. Is there more downside move here after that threat of a new tariff war with China, or an increase on the tariff war with China? ES so far protecting its VWAP. These are massive levels. India applied tariffs to the US is 7 to 8%. And that's coming out now as well. Kugler, some pickup in inflation likely in anticipatory of tariffs. Yeah, of course. Inflation is going to remain sticky. Stuck here at previous day low. Stuck here underneath those flow zones. If they keep selling versus this imbalance candle, there's potential for that rotation down. But again, the area that we're in is a tricky area. We're in the old gap. We're in the 50% of the IB. Yes, it's currently protecting its VWAP. You'd want to see a drive higher and it fail here, like prove that there's still sellers there. There's nothing on the tapes. There's nothing really for me to risk off. You'd need to see a drive higher, fail into 500, reclaim 500. It's probably going to go and push 600, 700, 800 very, very quickly. If they're like, you know, we're not going to believe any of this stuff. So, and just doing the dance between VWAP and PDC and PDL right now. On all the indexes, they're all looking the same. Look at the VIX. It ripped right back up to its initial balance high and found failure there. No one on the book. There's literally no one and nothing on the book here, folks. Yeah, still protecting its VWAP, drifting back up towards PDL. Do they bear flag this for that move down? This is what I was saying. You would need to see that sort of move into 400, 450 and see how they operate once they get through here. Potential for that breakdown if they're really going to go for it. Very, very tricky. Better there on the ES. Filled that imbalance a little bit, finding some sells. Very tricky levels all over here to be playing off. You'd feel better about the short if we start letting go of VWAP, really. Again, you're already there's already 150 points off that drive higher there. It's absolute insanity. I still got lots of gaps on my charts as well. So I'd stay here with you for about another half an hour and then probably going to call it a day at that point, folks. I'm thinking that we start to drift lower here, then thinking it can cause a bit of a flush. It's just whether it's going to give me the opportunity to play. So repricing, like we talked about. Repricing, snap this, and move back down into here. And if it really lets go down into here, and if it really, really lets go back in down to overnight lows, find that unlikely. What you'll be careful of is this building out a range here. We know it's a big range. We know it's an important level. Back under here, potential shorts. Remember, this is an RBS level. Back under there, there's potential shorts for failures. All the time we're holding there, potential longs back up. Very, very tricky. Your range is massive. You've got to be using small size. If you're going to play any of these, you need to be using small size. You will get stopped out very quick. You're going to need wider stops, smaller size. Here's ES, back to VWAP again here on the ES. This is what I was talking about. If it starts to let go of this, that move to initial balance low starts becoming possible. Spider's getting stuck underneath VWAP as well, but we're into that RBS level across the indexes. VIX starting to pick up over 5140s now. Market starting to go red here across the board. Mag 7 all red again other than Amazon. So sellers coming back in here and taking control. after that fake news. Now China news coming out. ES letting go of VWAP, coming down towards that pivot low on ES. You're watching 975s there. I'd say it's another 20 points. It's insane. It looks like it would be 2 points here on my chart. It's 20 points away on the ES. Absolute bonkers. Absolutely bonkers right now. So if they get the breakdown here, there's a good chance we can trade lower. If they keep absorbing this RBS level, then that's where the shorts will get stuck. So these are massive, massive levels. You can see it, this edge of this range. It's like a cup here on micro head and shoulders. This is basically the neckline. Breakdown of here, retest, we go lower. Keep absorbing here, shorts can get stuck. Yes, back reclaiming VWAP. So these are sensitive areas here. VIX drifting upside right now, 52.40. All right, the key level on the VIX is the initial balance. If VIX breaks up at 54.20s, it has a drift up to 60 if it wants it. Decision time for the ES soon, I think, right at that VWAP. Right at its RBS on the SPY. And sort of pre-market highs. It's just dancing on there. Can it find a bid on those pre-market highs to go back to the upside, or is it just going to give up the ghost and roll over? Feels like it wants to break down here. The ES starting to let go a little bit. $5,000 basically the key level. That's effectively your VWAP. 5,000 ES over under. That's what you can watch today pretty much. And then we got. Feels like it's going to go here. They're starting to let this go a little bit here. Does it take that internal lower down? ES, the key level here is 75s, right? 75s. It's where it's last dunked into the RBS. That's the key level. If they keep protecting that, that's where shorts can get squeezed and trapped from. If they let go of that, there's a potential rotation to the IBL. Very similar to here, basically, for us on the Qs. This is a big key level under this move here, and then extension down to here. Protection, squeeze. Again, you can see these are flattened out. Where did we trade earlier? Nice and easy, right? These are starting to flatten out now. Makes it a little bit more tricky. You're in range rotation. Here's your range. Huge. 1,800 points. Massive range, but that is the range. That is the initial balance. You've got to respect the rules. Half an hour left here until lunch, folks. New 5-minute and 15-minute and 30-minute bar coming here in a couple of minutes. We're coming right back into that H1 level we talked about. Said about it can come right back in. See these guys here if it wants, right? There's your breakout, there's your retest. This is the key area. Does it hold these guys on the H1? If it holds these, it can go again. It can go back to upside. If it lets go of these or goes sideways, what do we have? We would have a head, a left shoulder, and we'd have the ability to build out a right shoulder if it wanted to. Protecting it again so far. ES back to view up again. These are big, big levels here, folks. Big, big levels. 30 seconds left until you get that new bar. Momentum right now is downside. You're into a key level, though. ES rejecting its view up there. It's going to have another attempt to come and take out those buyers at 75, 975. So what it's looking to do, it keeps attempting to get down there. It's failing to do it, but that's what it's looking to do. Here's your new 5-minute bar. Back to view up on the ES. $5,000 over under on the ES again, probably key, just for sentiment. Edge of the range right now. You can see everything is a range right now. Squeezing back up through 5,000 already. PDL's all the way up here. Still no trade set up for me in this most recent action. Again, made all my money this morning. Quite happy just chilling out here. Inflation is more than pressing. There is a step back in retail sales. Consumer confidence is moderate. We need to pay attention to that. Uncertainty is holding back business investment. Q1 may show more strength than we may imagine. Back and forth here. Kugler still talking. I'm getting ready to get off here, I think, folks. I've still got some divergence showing between Ninja and TradingView, so I'm very, very cautious about executing everything. We're still dancing at 50% of the initial balance. Remember, here's RIB high, here's RIB low. We're just dancing around here right now. It's not loving it. Not absolutely loving it. We're at key levels, and I don't want to give back anything. And the market slowed down while Kugler talks. And I think most of you have made your money already. So if you've got any questions in chat, post them now. Otherwise, I think I'm going to call this a day early, take my money and run. It's probably just the way that they have to go through an extra party to get the data, I guess. I'm not totally sure on that, Aaron. Let's squeeze back up here towards flow zones into previous week lows. Key levels again. All right, folks. Brad D for Dansk. Yeah, I've got to just check a video. I got a rough edit back for a video, and then I'll be around later in the day for everyone. But if that's it for everyone, I'm going to call it a day here. Nice green day, locking in some good money. I would hang around for lunch, but I just don't think there's a setup coming right now. So spun 1 micro on the personal account. Nice. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. I'm glad you all had a good day. Hey, look at that. 1 micro for $1,800. That'll do. No worries. No worries. Go for the hill. Glad you're all having a great day. I love seeing you lot win. It's great that I make money, but I way prefer it when you lot make money. It's even better. Way more reward for me. Feels good. Fills my cup. Makes me feel good about life. All right, folks. Those in Discord, I'm going to take a break for a bit. We know the key levels. Nothing's changed. We've got the initial balance. We've had the low-hanging fruit. You know what I'm like. Once the low-hanging fruit's gone, my interest starts to dwindle. Nice, Lyndall. Good work. Good work. So I will pop back into Discord probably after lunch, see where we're at with everything. Please be careful, folks. Okay, you can see what happens when a little bit of news hits the market. All right, 350 points, 200 points, 150 points, 300 points, like max pain. And your stop won't necessarily get filled. You have your stop here, it might be getting filled up here because it's very thin. You've got to be using hard stops. You've got to be proactive taking money. You've got to move your stops into the money. You have to protect your profits. Your job when being a trader is a risk manager. Your job is to manage risk, your risk. This is your money. This is your sweat equity. This is everything that you are putting into this right now. Do not get loose on a day like this and think, who cares? I'll get some more accounts or whatever. Don't do that. All right, be rigid, be rule-based, be practical, be pragmatic, and stick to the process. All right, size down, stick to the process, lock in those winners, cut any losers very, very quickly. I'll be back tomorrow live on stream. Use hard stops, be kind to each other. Peace and love, everyone.